It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
And I'm
really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here,
I
too.
miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Dallas Mavericks at their home, American Airlines Center. Well, for the Mavericks, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. After a brisk offseason, it's finally upon us, fellas.
What's that?
Opening night.
Oh, tonight's opening night?
Hey,
oh, those are preseason games.
Shaq, your thoughts on how important it is for a team to get off to a fast start?
Well, early wins gives you confidence.
Oh, do they ever?
Makes you more intimidating to play against.
Does it ever?
I'm so excited. I miss you guys this summer.
Oh, I know. What have you been doing?
I'm happy to be here. I went to China about 59 times.
Yeah.
I went to Cancun 72 times.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the North Pole twice.
Oh, wow.
How's
so
that?
A pretty uneventful summer for you.
It was bad. I was looking for Santa. I couldn't find him.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to. The fans, the local media, everyone is excited. And I just am excited to be here, start of the season, and you don't want to start slow. You don't want to have any rough patches early on.
What'd you do this summer?
I went fishing.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Catch anything?
Yes, I did. I went to Dubai and went deep sea fishing.
Wow, awesome. So you were traveling all over the place? You go deep sea fishing?
What'd you do?
I cut the grass. It's awesome. Well, that wraps it up. Let's go courtside.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. It's Western Conference versus Eastern Conference here in Dallas, Texas, where the Mavericks will try to protect home court. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first game of the NBA's regular season. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games.
Yeah, interconference matchup, two teams that'll see each other only twice on the schedule.
Yeah, and Greg, this is a big game for both teams. I mean, they don't see each other often, and you know they both want to get a win in this one.
And as we've got a few moments here before the tip, let's go to David Aldridge, who was able to speak with Mike Budenholzer. Dave, what'd you find out?
Well, guys, he told me they're up against a team that really finishes strong at the rim, and he wanted to get that point across to his players. He wants them to protect the rim with every bit of energy they've got throughout this entire contest. Let's see if they're up to it, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And neither of these teams look to push the tempo if they can help it. They like to play that half-court game. So, Clark, what are teams looking to do with a slower pace?
Well, a couple of things. One is it's about quality versus quantity. They want to get consistently good shot attempts every trip down, and they're willing to take time to do that. And so the offensive execution, screen setting, ball movement, spreading the floor becomes much more important because the fast break chances are not a big part of their repertoire.
And it's the Hawks to start out. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Atlanta, filling out the wings, it's Bazemore and Prince. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Ilyasova, and it's Schroeder in at the point. Now here's Schroeder, just 5 on the clock. Drops it in from 11 feet. Schroeder's got the first basket of the game for the Hawks. Now here is Smith. There's a screen by Noel. Smith dishes to Noel. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. From 10 feet out, Prince's shot is good. Prince has got his first points of the game. And the Mavericks with possession here. 4-point game. Nowitzki sets a screen for Smith to the paint. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Smith.
And you know, one thing about Nowitzki, he is a reliable screener, a guy you can count on to give up his body for his team.
And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. The Hawks working the ball around. Ilyasova, a screen on Barnes. Here's Prince, and he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
They push it up 4-on-3. Schroeder outside. Ilyasova sets a screen for Prince. Over Barnes. Second chance shot. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. Atlanta shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. Free throw good from Ilyasova.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild.
Good on both.
A couple of things that make Ilyasova so unique are his quickness and shooting ability at 6'10".
And the dunk by Barnes.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
For Atlanta, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And the Hawks traded Howard and lost Paul Millsap in short time. So the rebuild, it would appear, is on for Atlanta.
And it seems like they feel good with how they've approached it. You know, you got to commit to turning things over and starting anew. And the Hawks have taken the first steps to building towards the future.
Boy, and that electrifying speed of Smith puts the defense on its heels, forcing them to hit him when he's penetrating inside.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Two shots.
And he can't get the first one. So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
He hits the second from the line.
Well, you hear a lot of disparaging, hating remarks directed towards jump shooting teams, but the Mavericks make no apologies. I mean, that's their game offensively, and that's their story, and they're sticking to it.
Dedmon's shot is off. Mavericks trailed by 3. Barnes with it. Guarded now by Prince. Will not go. This is off the front iron. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And you look at the numbers, whether it's three-pointers or mid-range shots, spot-up or pull-up, you name it. If it's a jumper, Dallas will live off it.
And you know what, Kevin? If the NBA game was played more like a game of horse, they would be a powerhouse. And, you know, with their defensive scheme clogging the paint, they dare opponents to get into a shoot it out with them because they feel like they win that game most times.
And the first one drops. And the Hawks, known for their equal opportunity drive and kick offensive style. But, Greg, their three-point shooting percentage has cratered the last few seasons.
Yeah, and the way the league is going, that's something they'll have to fix. The free throw line, also an issue for this group. It's clear they're in search of more shooting.
Both shots good from the stripe. Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Noel, a screen on Schroeder. Nowitzki, a screen. Matthews passes to Nowitzki. Just 5 to shoot. He can't hit that time. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Schroeder kicks to Ilyasova. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder.
Really starting to come into play now is the mindset of Ilyasova inside, using every inch of his wingspan to get these shots up and in.
Now here's Barnes, and that one good. And here's Bazemore. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. The dish to Dedmon. And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. The pass to Noel. And slam dunk by Noel.
It's hard to match up with Noel's athleticism. He's definitely an explosive player and an aggressive player who feels comfortable finishing at the rim.
And Atlanta has possession. The Mavericks making the shot. Schroeder with the ball. Heading now by Barnes. Bazemore for 3. Barnes grabs the miss. Mavericks trail by 3. Noel dishes to Nowitzki. Back to Noel. Shoots from the block. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Noel's got his second bucket of the game to go. Bazemore with it. There's the pick. Dishes it to Dedmon. Smith against Schroeder. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Now Matthews. He feeds it to Smith. And it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith.
And here's a look at the stats for Dennis Schroeder. He had a strong showing last season. Averaged 18 points per, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. And you know, pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis.
Now here's Schroeder. And the rejection by Noel.
And you can just see Noel's eyes light up when the shooter attempts these shots. He's so forceful and determined in his denial.
I'm not sure, Greg, there's a player who better fits the description of a grinder than Wes Matthews.
Yeah, so tough, too. I mean, mentally and physically. He talks about inflicting his personality on the team, and he truly is what I'd call a culture builder.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one misses. And Wes Matthews, known as a two-way player. Clark, which aspect stands out to you the most? His offense or his defensive game?
Well, I think it's his offensive game from the standpoint of making the three-point shot. He's become a laser out there, and defensively very competitive, takes the challenge. He's rugged and tough and plays with the edge of a guy who wasn't drafted. Offensively, he can post you up a little bit too.
And it's tied up with that one.
Yeah, you know, Wesley Matthews has made himself an efficient scorer who also has gained a reputation as a good defender.
Schroeder passes to Dedmon. They set the screen from deep. Prince. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. For Dallas, they've gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. Out to Smith. Shoots over Schroeder, and he's on the money with his first shot today.
Kevin, I love the mid-range game of Smith. We don't see that a lot from a bunch of players nowadays, but he's constantly looking to let it fly from here.
Now here's Bazemore. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And there's Schroeder. That's good. The assist by Bazemore.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
The Mavericks have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Smith against Schroeder. Barnes outside. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
You know, Harrison Barnes, guys, actually asked to become more of isolation go-to scorer in Dallas. And you remember at Golden State, he kind of struggled in that role, but he's shown so much more confidence and comfort in creating his own shot this time around. I think he's embraced that role well.
2 shots.
First one falls for him. And the knock on Harrison Barnes was that he lacked the ball handling and fluidity to create off the bounce.
And, you know, Barnes, to his credit, didn't deny it. I mean, instead, he went to work. He's focused on staying low and studied guys like Paul Pierce learning how to get to his spots.
Dallas making a switch here. Curry's checked in, and he makes both free throws.
Textbook shooting from the stripe. Great form, soft release, mark it up.
Shooter kicks to Ilyasova. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Boy, they ran the offense well to get this look. Even though he missed it, I think they liked the shot.
Pass to Barnes. He kicks it to Nowitzki. Over Ilyasova. Nowitzki, no good. Atlanta's gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Here's Prince. The Mavericks pull it in.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And it's Schroeder in the corner. Here's Dedmon, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And he makes the first. Well, Clark, you've been in the booth for so long, but I have to ask, have you ever toyed with the idea of coaching or working in some team's front office? I know you did briefly for the Pacers.
Yeah, I did, and I enjoyed it. I was working in player relations, player development with our guys off the court, and loved it. But it just wasn't something I could sustain at this season in my life. Not interested in coaching. I've never really been, because my career path went towards broadcasting right after I got done playing, and I've paid my dues and have grown in this profession. And I would want to do the same thing in coaching, and I just don't have enough time in front of me to do that. So I'm happy to be around the game in this capacity. Coaching never lets up. I get an off season as a broadcaster.
Yes. Here's Bellinelli. Kicks it to Dedmon. Goes up on the high post. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
Man, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
The Hawks making a switch here. Collins is checked in. The Mavericks trailing. Here's Barea. Now here's Powell. And Curry has it in the corner. Rebound by Muscala.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Delaney no good. The Mavericks have gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Curry dishes to Powell. There's the pick. Picked him clean. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. And it's the Mavericks on the break. Curry leading the charge. Pass to Bembry. In the corner, it's Delaney. Off target from three-point range. And so it's Dallas with it. Trailing by 2.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Well, that's how you drive your point home right there.
He's lucky to get away with that, though, guys. I mean, it could have earned him a technical for hanging on too long.
He dishes it to Muscala. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Passes to Bembry. Back to Delaney. There's a good screen. Jumper off the screen, and that one comes up a bit short. The Mavericks have gone 7 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Oh, and that misses. That would have put him up.
Well, at best, the defense was average. I mean, he must make sure to finish these layups. Got to make those.
2 points. That one goes.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Here's Barea following the bucket by the Hawks. Here's Finney Smith looking for his first basket still in this one. From deep, Barea, no good. The Hawks leading. Here's Delaney. Collins, a screen on Barea. Here's Delaney, guarded by Barea.
Like seeing Powell flex his muscle on the defensive end. Really good at timing his jump to block the shots.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
So it's Atlanta now, following the score by Dallas. Here's Bellinelli, guarded by Kerr. The shot by Bellinelli, no good.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
The Mavericks have gone 50% from the field in the first quarter, 8 of 16. Here's Finney Smith, got a hand on it, and they're able to recover. 1:05 left to play here in the first. Delaney, the pass to Muscala. And Bellinelli kicks to Delaney. Here's Bembry. There's a screen. The feed to Muscala. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. The Mavericks leading. There's 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Barea kicks to Measuring. To the inside. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. On up the court. Collins, good.
Awesome feed there. That pass was on point.
23 seconds left to play here in the first. Curry dishes to Barea. The Mavericks shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
First free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time.
You just have to be more disciplined. I mean, too many fouls and free throw attempts for the opponent.
You know, it's one of the things coaches like least is giving away points. I mean, they've been a step late. They've been caught reaching. They've got to tighten things up at the defensive end.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. The Mavericks on top. They're up by 2. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. You know, one of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And, guys, what's your take so far on the Mavs?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, it's been impressive for me too, Greg. I mean, they've snuffed out a lot of shots, and I think they've had an intimidating effect on the opponent.
Measuring is out there with Powell. Then there's J.J. Barea. Then there's Seth Curry. And it's Finney Smith in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Stolen away. Here's Bembry. Here's Collins. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. And the Hawks lead by 2. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Hawks.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd, who played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in it. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A. An even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Now, here's Barea. He's guarded closely. Curry passes to Barea. Here's Powell. Another shot. Rebounded by the Hawks. Shoots a 3. Out of bounds. It'll be Mavericks ball. And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Mavericks.
And a shot they haven't been looking for very much is that corner 3. And when they have, these been quick to kind of close out and deny it, and they've had to get their points from elsewhere.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Barea kicks to Finney Smith. There's the screen. Dallas moving the ball around. Goes up to the stripe. Kept alive. Outside for Barea. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Barea's got his first bucket of the night. Feeds to Collins. And Bellinelli kicks to Delaney. The pass to Bembry. Shot clock at 6. Muscala with the ball. Powell's there, and they'll keep possession. Finney Smith passes to Curry. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Mavericks.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Here's Delaney, guarded by Barea. That one's not going to go. Now Dallas takes it the other way.
Not a lot going his way. Everything he's shooting is just off the mark. I mean, somehow he's got to figure out a way to turn it around.
And you take a look at Clark Dwight Powell, 6'11", 240 pounds. Do you see him as more of a power forward or as a center?
I think he's kind of a tweener, Kevin. I mean, he's a guy that I think can play both spots. He's got more of a power forward's body, but kind of a center's game. I mean, if he can develop that jump shot, I think his best niche would be as a face-up 4-man.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The free throw drops for Powell. And Dwight Powell played all 4 seasons at Stanford for the Cardinal. Still filling out his frame.
He is, and you know, the knock on Powell was that he wasn't tough enough to battle inside at this level. But guy is a worker, basically sleeping in the gym, and with his length and athleticism, he's starting to figure it out.
And so he makes both from the line.
The length and mobility of Powell is really impressive. He's a solid big guy who I think continues just to get better at both ends.
Dedmon dishes to Schroeder. Shot from free throw range, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. Schroeder's got 7.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
There's a screen by Noel. Smith kicks to Barnes. Outside Matthews. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Boy, intensity always a good thing, and Powell brings it solid at getting after offensive rebounds for his team.
Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. From 12 feet out, Ilyasova can't hit.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
And it's Smith missing. The Hawks trail by 4.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Bazemore gets the bucket.
You know, leaving somebody that wide open is not prudent. I mean, you got to expect to get burned when you put that kind of effort forward.
Noel passes to Smith. Barnes sets a screen for Smith. Now the dish to Powell. He feeds it to Matthews. Shoots over Bazemore. And it's Matthews again missing. Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. So they take the lead. Ilyasova's got his second basket of the game. No shortage of drama here early on.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
Smith kicks to Barnes. Back to Smith. Powell with the screen. And Smith with the stuff.
Hey, this guy is the full package, the total package. Dennis Smith, a point guard with bounce. He'll punch it on you. I love seeing him do that, too.
Down low, here's Schroeder. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Schroeder's got 4 points this quarter.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't back down from anybody, Greg. Effective at getting the room he wants and then gets his shot off in time.
Smith kicks to Powell. The 3 from Barnes. Bazemore grabs the miss. Hawks have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. Prince misses.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
The Hawks trailing. Schroeder dishes to Bazemore. Back to Schroeder. Ilyasova a screen. Shot off the screen. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Schroeder's got 11 points.
They're up right now because he's been dominant on offense, and man, I like seeing him catch fire like this.
Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
And they are going toe-to-toe here tonight, guys. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, these teams evenly matched, Greg, trading hits and refusing to give up any advantage.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line. You talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dwight Powell. The free throw, no good. And the NBA has had coaches who are as legendary as any player. With that in mind, Clark, who is your pick as the greatest coach of all time?
Man, I can't even begin to have an answer for that one. There's some guys that jump out, though, when you think about that list, who would be on it. Greg Popovich for sure. Phil Jackson would have to be included on that list. Brett Auerbach. And Chuck Daly for the way he was able to manage his players. Pat Riley, would have to consider him as part of being on somebody worthy of that list as well. And I'll even go back a little farther and throw Lenny Wilkins in the mix. I thought he was really good with a number of different teams that he coached. You know, Nerlens Noel made it pretty clear he was not happy with the logjam at the center position in Philly. Last season's trade cleared a path for him to show what he can do.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
That's good from Noel. And Noel has the mobility to defend 4s or 5s. The Sixers had tried him some at the power forward. But, well, you know, Clark, it really wasn't a fit.
No, it really was. I mean, he's a shot blocker and finisher first. I mean, you want him protecting the rim. It's clear this guy is a center.
He's off on the second.
Well, the former Kentucky Wildcat Noel is a phenomenal defensive player who's really starting to find himself on offense as well.
Here's Barnes, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. And with early injuries in the Mavericks last season, Harrison Barnes was thrown right into the fire as their offensive centerpiece.
Yeah, and he had a dramatically higher usage rate than he saw in Golden State. His three-point percentage fell without all of the wide-open looks he enjoyed next to Steph Curry, but still, by and large, he and the Mavericks have to be encouraged by how quickly he was able to handle an expanded role.
And he makes the first.
And you got to appreciate the overall game of Barnes. He's efficient as a scorer and also works hard at the defensive end.
Both shots good from the stripe. And the Mavericks ownership amongst the most outspoken and influential in the NBA.
Kevin, that is an understatement on both counts. Outspoken and influential. Their owner is one of the best in sports, I think. The team's success has provided credibility, and with the league becoming more forward-thinking, things starting to swing again in Dallas's way.
And let's check out some stats for Wesley Matthews. Last season's performance for him. He put up about 13 points a game last season, 3 rebounds and 3 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
And he knocks down the first one. And Dirk Nowitzki last season passing 30,000 points for his career. As Clarkie enters his 40s, how much longer do you think he can keep it up?
Well, I don't know. He probably want to play until he's 50. And if he was able to, the Mavericks would certainly have a spot for him. But I think, you know, 40, 41, that's a pretty high bar for NBA players. But if anybody could do it, Dirk might hang around that long.
And head coach Rick Carlisle approaching a decade with the Dallas Mavericks, and he doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah, and you know, that's really remarkable in a profession marked by turnover. He's pretty much anchored in there. The Mavs organization smart enough to recognize they've got one of the best in the business in the NBA, but I would even say one of the best coaches in all of pro sports.
Smith on the wing. He's guarded by Schroeder. And it's Nowitzki missing. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. The Hawks leading. Schroeder outside. It's Prince on the wing. And there's the foul. It goes on Ilyasova. That is his first foul of the game. Dallas has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Now here's Matthews. He's covered by Bazemore with the fadeaway. Nowitzki can't get that one to fall. Prince outside.
Come get it, come get it.
Nice D from Nowitzki.
And, you know, it hasn't been his night, but his team still leads, so that's encouraging.
Count it, good. And the Mavericks lead by 1.
Love how Nowitzki goes right up with it when he's this deep. I mean, not giving the defense any time to react.
Ilyasova a screen. Schroeder misses the 3. And for the Mavericks, they're shooting at 44%. Pretty reasonable. And Matthews kicks to Smith. Dishes it to Noel. Bazemore grabs the miss. Atlanta's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter. Only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Nobody near Schroeder. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
And, you know, he's yet to hit another 3 after nailing one in the first, but I don't think that's going to stop him from shooting.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
The Mavericks shooting 35% so far in the second. They need to move the ball around more and find better looks. Smith kicks to Barnes. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And not afraid to put his body on the line either, Greg. He took a shot for the team in that situation.
J.J. Barea is checked in for the Mavericks. And then for Atlanta, Mike Muscala is checked in for Dwayne Dedman. Collins comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Malcolm Delaney in for Dennis Schroeder. Here's Bazemore. There's his 3rd field goal, and now he's made half of his 6 shots.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
There's a screen by Noel. Here's Matthews. Count it. Matthews has got 5 points now this quarter.
Man, it's nice to see Matthews get involved inside, showing a nice touch around the basket.
Prince kicks to Delaney. Bazemore for 3. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds now in this one. There's a screen by Noel. Pass to Barnes. It's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here.
And you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer, but they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Measuring, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Harrison Barnes. And Curry subbed in for Wesley Matthews. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Now Bellinelli. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Pass to Delaney. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Mavericks lead by 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Harrison, a big first half for you offensively. How did you get loose?
My teammates just been finding me. I've just been trying to just run hard, make good backdoor cuts, running in transition, and they've been giving me good looks.
You have not stopped moving at all, and it's led to good results. Thanks, Harrison. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the 3rd quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Well, they're doing a great job of pushing the action and getting to the foul line. They aren't just pulling up for uncontested shots. They're making the defense react to them. In transition, on the dribble, and with those quick cuts, they're in attack mode. That's dangerous. To beat them, you need to force them to play more defensively.
And Shaq, what'd you see from Atlanta?
Well, a lot of their points came in transition. They dictated the pace of the game. It was a fast pace. Put the defense back on its heels. I say keep attacking the second half. Do not slow down.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
The skyline of Dallas illuminating the night sky as we welcome you back to the Lone Star State. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. One guy who's been getting it done is Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable.
Here's Smith. And on the floor for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the backcourt. Ilyasova out there with Prince, and it's Dedmon in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And, you know, we know, Kevin, that Nowitzki is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Does a fabulous job measuring up these shots.
Here's Schroeder. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel. And Dennis Schroeder out of Germany handed the keys as the full-time starter at the point guard in his fourth season.
And with his confidence and competitive spirit, you know he was chomping at the bit for that opportunity. And you got to love his athleticism coupled with that big play capability. It's just exciting to see how good this young man can become.
Good from Schroeder. And Clark, as you watch the game at both the college and pro levels over the years, what has been the biggest change for you in your view of that?
Well, you know what, Kevin, there are a couple of things. The athleticism, the real emphasis on training and strengthening the core, meaning from your kneecaps to your sternum. The work that's done to train the hamstrings and quads and glutes, and that core area as a place of power, as your center of power, is one of the significant changes I've seen, not just in basketball, but all sports. And it's benefited the athletes greatly and the overall athleticism. And then from a playing standpoint or on the floor standpoint, I think the three-point shot. I think that's been the biggest dramatic change in the game. Boy, the defense looked helpless there. I mean, he's going to lay it up every time when he's got a smaller defender on him.
Noel passes to Smith. Barnes against Prince. A drive by Barnes. And it goes down 2 points. Barnes has got 10.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's Schroeder. A second chance effort. Yep, it goes. And the Dallas lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Dedmon.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, just a real lack of aggressiveness there right now. I mean, can't give up these types of layups to begin the quarter, Greg. I mean, that's a no-no.
Puts one up from 19.
Come on.
Here's Nowitzki. Atlanta with the rebound. Ilyasova's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Schroeder kicks to Prince. Ilyasova dishes to Prince. The shot, no good. Good D by Barnes.
Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help.
Smith kicks to Barnes. High post try. And that one hits back iron. The Hawks trail by 3. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Kicks it to Prince. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Good D by Barnes. The Mavericks have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Nerlens Noel out of Kentucky, slender and mobile and long. And Greg, he can cover ground in a hurry.
Boy, and you can see it in his rate of steals to go along with the blocks. That quickness is a huge asset in today's game. It's all about versatility, both offensively and defensively.
And the first one drops. And if there's one thing the Hawks have hung their hats on, it's been their defense.
Very disciplined across the board. They take charges, they protect the paint, they do a great job with their communication. And even though they get their share of blocks and steals, I think they do a great job of avoiding those cheap fouls.
Both free throws good from Matthews. The Hawks trail by 5. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Dedmon passes to Schroeder. Back to Dedmon. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. They host the Kings after this game, and that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Fast break here. Here come the Hawks. From deep, Prince gets it to go from beyond the arc. Prince has got 11 points. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Nowitzki with the screen on Schroeder. Here's Smith. Great D that time from Dennis Schroeder. The Hawks have gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Ilyasova sets a screen for Schroeder. Off target with the free throw line, Jay.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Matthews goes in, rebounded by the Hawks. Dedmon's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Schroeder with the ball. Now Smith defending. Matthews with the steal. And now in transition, it's Barnes. Here we go. Here's Noel. And he gets the bucket. Noel's got his 3rd bucket of the night. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Mavericks.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
Matthews dishes to Smith. Shoots over Schroeder. And the shot no good, a bit short. The Hawks trail by 4. And here's Bazemore. 7 points in the game. Lays it up off the glass. He's got 9.
And you have to admire his focus. Not a good matchup for him in terms of size differential.
Yeah, and even with the defender hovering all over him, Greg, he would not be denied.
And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Smith. Smith's got 5 assists tonight.
And that's what you want from Smith, is a team-first mentality, doing a great job of locating shooters and finding them in rhythm.
And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. Here's the floater. Yep, that one goes. Schroeder's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
Matthews passes to Barnes. And there's the rebound by Dedmon. Dedmon's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And the Mavericks with some changes. Powell, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Seth Curry comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Atlanta also making some changes here. Mike Muscala is checked in for Dwayne Dedmon. Collins comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Bellinelli in for Kent Bazemore. For the tie, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that. The Hawks have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Measury comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Dorian Finney-Smith subbed in for Harrison Barnes. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Here's Curry. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%, 5 for 7. For Atlanta, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field since the 3rd quarter got underway. And Muscala kicks to Bellinelli. Here's Collins. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
One shot, gentlemen.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. And the Mavericks with possession here. Correa with it. Curry on the wing. Taken away. Here's Bellinelli, guarded by Curry. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
Here's Delaney. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
Now, here's Barea. Defense is right there. The numbers in their favor. Pull-up jumper in Atlanta again with the bucket. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Hawks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Delaney, the pass to Muscala. There's the pick. Here's Bembry, guarded by Curry. Bembry misses. Mavericks trail by 3. And here we go with Curry running it up the court.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Delaney kicks to Bembry. Collins, a screen on Barea. Here's Delaney. Here's Collins, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Collins has got 7 points here in this quarter. Mavericks shooting 47% since getting things started in the third quarter. Over to the wing. Here's Finney-Smith. 6 points for him. Clock at 6. Mejri, the pass to Barea. 18 feet out. Curry dishes to Powell. Pass to Finney-Smith. He kicks it to Curry. Second chance shot, and the pass to Mejri. It's good. Mejri's got 8 points. The Hawks leading. Delaney kicks to Muscala. They set the pick. Lets it go with the 3. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
He played his college basketball at Duke. Seth Curry has really emerged as a solid NBA player, even though he was undrafted. A combo guard. He makes shots and he makes plays.
And that one falls for Bellinelli. And Seth Curry, much more of a shooter than he is a passer.
We'll see if he can make the transition to point guard that his brother did. I mean, in the meantime, his 6'2" height leaves him something of a disadvantage against bigger shooting guards. But I tell you what, this young man is impressed with his ability to be a solid NBA guard.
Barea kicks to Mejri. We've got 1:28 left in the third. Finney-Smith can't get it to go. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The first free throw is good.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime. Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Mavericks trail by 4. Barea, the pass to Nowitzki. It's stolen by Muscala. Here's Bembry. He has 5. He dishes it to Muscala. There's a minute left in the third quarter of the game.
Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
Here's Nowitzki, and the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
Hey, he's not a high flyer by any means, Kevin, but Nowitzki still can throw it down on you.
Delaney kicks to Collins. Collins, a screen on Curry. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Here's Bembry, guarded by Curry. Muscala controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Hawks lead by 4.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Here's Curry. Here's Finney-Smith. Lays it up and banks it in. Finney-Smith's got 6 in the quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
There's a screen. Here's Delaney. Good on the triple. Delaney's got 9.
And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
And we've reached the end of the third. The Hawks on top. They lead by 5. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Head coach Mike Budenholzer is mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it out.
We don't need to be in a hurry to beat them.
Let's just do it with our defense. Keep moving it, keep playing.
Poised aggressiveness, guys. I think the message there from Mike Budenholzer, asking for energy, asking his guys to mount an attack.
Well, and all 5 guys need to be on the same page. You need to be active, yes, but you also really need to communicate with one another.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. They've got J.J. Barea. Nowitzki is out there with measuring. Then there's Seth Curry. And it's Finney Smith in at the 3. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Rejected by Nowitzki.
Love how Nowitzki uses his long arms there on defense. Solid at coming up with blocks.
Curry, good.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Delaney, the pass to Muscala. And Bellinelli kicks to Delaney. Here's Bembry. The Hawks again can't hit.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And Muscala kicks to Delaney. Back to Muscala. And there's the feed to Bellinelli. The Hawks again can't hit.
And, you know, even though they're up, he's been off his game this quarter, having trouble finding the basket.
Barea, no good.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself.
I love that. Yes, indeedy.
Oh, he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
And I like it, Kevin and Greg. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in there, but for me, I don't mind a little extra.
Dallas calls timeout. The short rest, very important, and one of the benefits of this part of the game is getting on the same page with your team while having the chance to hydrate with Gatorade. Replenish your energy for the late game push. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Nerlens Noel checks in for measuring. Harrison Barnes comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Matthews, he's checked in for Seth Curry. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Alden.
During that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear Rick Carlisle's message to his team. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
And how about the fast hands and then getting right out in transition?
Well, turning defense into offense, Greg. Outstanding effort there. Swiped it away with ease, and off they went.
Prince kicks it over to Schroeder. Rebound by Smith.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Feeds it to Nowitzki. Over Ilyasova. Second shot opportunity. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
And Dirk Nowitzki, what a career. 6th all-time in NBA scoring.
This season, he'll have a chance to pass the great Wilt Chamberlain for 5th on the list. And when you talk about points scored with a single team, well, he's second only to Kobe Bryant, the Mamba. You know, Nowitzki, who's been a Hall of Fame player throughout his career, had an Achilles injury last year, and there was some question as to whether or not he would retire. Nice to see him back in action for one more season.
Ilyasova is screen on Smith. That doesn't go either for Schroeder. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Nowitzki left side. Here's Matthews. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. 10 points for Wesley Matthews. And Nowitzki had said his goal was to make it an even 20 years playing in the NBA, Clark.
And Kevin, here he is, season 20, after all he's accomplished and all this time, to see him still playing and still contributing at a very high level, really remarkable.
And the Hawks with possession here. Bazemore for three, sinks the three-pointer. And the Hawks lead by 3.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. And going into last season, Kent Bazemore commanding a salary in excess of $17 million. Greg, how did an undrafted player coming off his first starting season in the league get that kind of salary?
Timing is everything. Reflection of the market. You remember he had that huge spike in the cap. It's also a bet on his upside and work ethic. And with Bazemore, you see that the dedication to improve is there, and that's what made the Hawks comfortable with the contract.
And so Bazemore nails both of them. Mavericks trail by 5. Outside Matthews. Now here's Noel. Not a lot of room. It's tipped, but they recover it. The kick out to Matthews. 4 on the shot clock. For 3. Mavericks with the new shot clock.
There's another opportunity, and everything's going right for these guys.
Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got his 6th assist on the night.
Major dominance, and it comes so easily for him. Fantastic at getting to his spots on the floor.
Nowitzki. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Atlanta gets called for the foul.
I think this is why you got to be careful around Nowitzki. He's superb at drawing the contact while in his shooting motion.
And when you look at Dennis Smith Jr., you aren't blown away by the physicality at first, but he's incredibly gifted for a player his size. Great speed and quickness to blow by defenders.
No good on that one. And with Dennis Smith, it isn't just burst of speed, it's his play in the open floor and Greg running end to end, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he also just jumps and finishes at the rim like a shooting guard. He's only probably 6'2", 6'3", but he gets up in the air like a wing player. He's a lot like Derrick Rose was when he burst on the scene.
It really shows on the face of Nowitzki how much he loves playing the game. And that kind of enthusiasm is infectious.
There's the screen. Matthews against Prince. Ilyasova is screen on Matthews. Here's Prince. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Prince.
And you really have to like what they're doing at the line in this half. Free throw percentage now up around 92%.
No good on the second free throw.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure, but unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Schroeder against Matthews. The Hawks again can't hit. Mavericks trail by 7. And it's Matthews again missing. Atlanta's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. They get it again. And the rejection by Noel. Smith against Schroeder. Here's Matthews. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a 3-point play.
Much respect to Matthews for his focus. I mean, you can't tie this guy down. I mean, he's excellent at scoring through contact.
Free throw, good. Matthews. Atlanta leading by 4. Now here's Schroeder. Inside, 11 feet away. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Here's Smith. There's a screen by Noel. Now here's Matthews. D right on him. Rebound Atlanta. Prince in the corner. From deep, another 3 for Atlanta.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Nowitzki outside, fires the 3, but they'll get another chance.
And I just love how he's banging down low. His hard work will let them use some more of the clock here.
Scooped up. Barnes right side. Over Prince. Dallas no good that time either.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, he has been, and he's got to find his stroke because he's holding back his team as a result of his poor shooting.
Here's Ilyasova. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. It's good. And the Hawks lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Barnes.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Schroeder dishes to Bazemore. Ilyasova a screen. Prince the pass to Schroeder. Shot clock at 5 and fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
You know, obviously he knows how to finish with some flair.
One shot.
And one difference this half is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
Mavericks trail by 10. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Kicks it out to Nowitzki. Lets it go from deep. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got his 7th assist here tonight. Here's Schroeder. It's rebounded by Dallas. Noel's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. 14 feet away. Barnes can't get it to go. The Hawks leading by 7. Prince kicks it over to Schroeder. Goes back up. Dedmon. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The first one falls.
And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
Mavericks trail by 8. Matthews into the lane, and he gets it to go.
Nice display of speed by Matthews there. I mean, he loves knifing through the defense and getting to the rack.
Bazemore on the wing. The dish to Dedmon. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Barnes against Prince, and the basket is good. Prince has got 11 points here in just the second half. Dallas has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Smith on the wing, guarded by Prince. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Nowitzki, and the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
Kevin, how do you want? Nowitzki can give it to you inside, outside, in between, off the dribble. I think that covers it all, doesn't it?
Atlanta leading by 6. Bazemore dishes to Prince. Ilyasova a screen. Bazemore with it. Matthews covering. Pass to Schroeder. Ilyasova a screen. High arcing shot, and the rejection by Noel. And Noel throws it down.
And Noel really elevating this game, stepping into the limelight and coming away with the big bucket thanks to his effort and hustle.
And Bazemore kicks to Prince. Ilyasova a screen on Barnes. Dedmon shot is off. Mavericks trail by 4. Matthews passes to Nowitzki. Smith against Schroeder, and slam dunk by Noel. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 13 rebounds.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
And Greg, I'm not quite sure why it took them as long as it did to finally get things going, but as we always say, better late than never.
Nobody near Barnes. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Atlanta's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. Here's Nowitzki, and the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
Hey, you got to know Nowitzki's looking to shoot in these situations. I mean, that's who he is, a big-time performer down the stretch.
11 feet away. That doesn't go either for Schroeder.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Yeah, you know what? I think eventually he will find his rhythm because he is off right now, but all it takes is one hoop, and you're back in rhythm. Boy, Dirk Nowitzki is a handful. They're having a lot of trouble dealing with it.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 2. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.
He deserves a lot of credit, but the D they played on him deserves a little bit of the blame as well. Even when he got hot, they didn't do enough, I don't think, to try and cool him off. And they've been passive when they've needed to be aggressive. And boy, did he make them pay.
There's 42 seconds left in the fourth. Poked away. And Ilyasova kicks to Dedmon. There's Schroeder. Knocks down the 3.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Indeed it is. Love seeing him deliver when they need him most. No fear taking these shots. I love it.
Barnes. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. Not even been a factor.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And you know what, Greg? Who knows? A few misses at the strike, and they're right there within range. You know, late game free throws are a lot different than early game free throws in terms of making it.
Dallas calls timeout. They trail by 2. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this?
Well, I don't think you set that decision in stone and anchor it in this timeout. You see how things play out. You're going to try to get a good, quick shot. And if it's a good 3 with a good shooter, let it fly. If it's something in the paint, then you take that. But it's about being a good, quick shot in this situation.
And there's the foul to try to stop the break, and that'll be a clear path to the basket. 2 free throws coming up, and they'll retain possession. Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
Boy, so calm, composed. Love how he took his time and drained the important free throws. Big time stuff there.
And so they foul intentionally.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
And the second of 2 is good. That puts them up by 5. Dallas calls timeout. Guys, your thoughts?
And this is what happens when you dig yourself a hole. It's hard to climb out of.
Well, to me, they looked emotionally spent.
And so the Hawks take the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
And that's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.